That's not just the sound of that first sip of Morning Joe. It's the sound of someone shopping for a car on Carvana from the comfort of home.
That's a good blend.
It's time to take it easy, like answering some easy questions to get pre-qualified for a car in minutes.
Talk about starting the morning right.
Just like customizing your terms so your car fits your budget. Visit Carvana.com or download the app to experience car shopping the way it should be. Convenient, comfortable.
Man, that sunset is gorgeous.
Grill, patio, sunset. Hard to get better than that. Unless you're browsing Carvana's inventory while you soak it all in.
Oh, burger time.
So sit back, get comfortable. Carvana's got thousands of cars under $20,000 just waiting for you.
I could stay here forever.
Carvana, where car buying meets comfort meets convenience. Download the app or visit Carvana.com today.
Yo, what's up, everybody? This week we just have our Vegas/Area 51 recap for you. We take you through our journey through Vegas and Area 51, beer by beer, shot by shot, toke by toke. We met some awesome listeners along the way who met us in Vegas or who are from Vegas. Had a great time with all of you. Sang a bunch of karaoke, drank way too many beers, but just had a great trip, a ton of fun, awesome people. All in all, 10 out of 10. Hope you enjoy it. We'll catch you on the other side.
Welcome to Alien Theorists Theorizing Area or Vegas Recap
/ Area 51. I'm Zell.
I guess we're back to normal. I'm Braden. I'll say it for a third time. Try to coax your guys' names out of you.
I'm Zell.
I'm Dan.
I said Zell in there over some laughters and no one heard it. So.
Oh, did you? Oh. And we're the Alien Theorists.
Totally professional.
All right. Well, we did it, boys. We made it to Vegas, and we all made it home safe and sound.
Half a liver.
What a trip.
It was a great trip.
Let me tell you something.
I was brutal.
I was a wreck. I was a wreck all week.
It took me like 2 days to fully recover.
I think it was more from the lack of sleep.
Oh, yeah.
A couple hours a night didn't cut it.
Oh. Had like an hour nap before we got on our planes the next day.
Oh, man. It's painful. All right, let's recap this from day one. Should we go right from Thursday, getting on the plane? First off, very smooth. Almost, some would say too smooth.
Too smooth.
Going through the airports. Me and Zell stayed in Vancouver overnight at some awesome people's house, Jen and Chase. So shout out to Jen and Chase taking us out for beers.
And we remember we said, like, we're not going to get too drunk tonight. We got a big week ahead. What did we do?
Got wasted. Zell, we went to that whiskey bar. What was the drink you got that we...
Oh, it's a hot toddy. Hot toddy bar.
Hot toddy.
Hot toddy. It's just a weird whiskey bar with 1,000 whiskeys.
And I
found my new drink.
I ordered a whiskey sour, but I kind of I was jealous of the hot toddy as well.
Delicious.
I don't remember what it was called. Some whiskey bar in Vancouver. I think it was called the Whiskey Bar.
Could have been.
The whiskey bar. Only whiskey bar.
Yeah. So me and Zell get to the airport. Instantly, if you were following our Instagram, I took a snap of Zell outside Burger King, inquiring if he would like any chicken fries before we boarded the flight. To a resounding no.
I was on high alert this trip for any type of shenanigans that would lead us to missing our flight.
Yeah. There was actually no issues to report from the the flights were absolutely smooth as could be.
On time, no security hassles. Last time you got hassled at every checkpoint.
Oh, every turn.
Yeah, because Braden looks like a terrorist. It's just...
I look like I'm always pale and I always have bags under my eyes, so I look like I'm some sort of drug mule at all times.
Some Eastern
I
European,
think that's the issue.
Serbian drug lord. That's what you look like
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah, all the time. or like the bag has burst in my rectum and I'm feeling the effects. It's how I've been described.
How many bags you got hiding up there, boy?
Just single hot toddy.
Yeah, I had no problems getting on my plane. I had to do solo, so it was just easy.
A really nice surprise was when we get to Vegas, Zell and I thought Dan got in at 4, and Dan thought Zell and I got in at 4, and as it turned out, we all got in at the exact same time. So we were just a couple minutes apart.
Yeah, I was a little anxious because I thought you guys were getting in at 4, and I went back and checked our messages, and I was like, oh shit, are they gonna get here? Like, I got there about noon, and I was like, oh fuck, I'm gonna have to sit around here for like 4 hours. And then you guys messaged me on Facebook, and then you guys like, oh yeah, we're here, or we're just landing right now. I was like, oh yeah, I just sat down to some delicious Wendy's, and I was like, oh, okay.
So we're there. We're at the airport. Dan gets us some junior bacon cheeseburgers, meets us at our gate, get our Uber. I fucking love Uber, first off. We don't have
Greatest
really
service
Uber
in the
at
world.
lots of places in Canada, but love me some Uber. We had
Yeah, this is the first time I'd ever used an Uber. I mean, in Thailand, I always used the grab taxi thing, but I've never used Uber. It was solid. That was nice.
Oh, it's awesome. So first stop, we have 3 hours before we're allowed to check into our Airbnb. So first stop, we decided in this order, we'd go to Planet 13, the legal dispensary in Las Vegas. And from there, we'd go get some liquor. Jump to the Uber, off to Planet 13. Now, before I get into my thoughts on Planet 13, as we're pulling up to Planet 13, right beside is the world's largest sex shop that advertises the world's largest sex bike.
That's right.
And I remember,
I had some thoughts on that.
yeah. Very interesting.
Yeah. And then I was like, wait, largest sex bike. And so my mind starts churning out. I'm like, so is it large in size? Like, or is it number of people that can fit on it? Like some kind of weird sexual tandem
I'm trying to
bike.
figure out how's a sex bike work?
So I've never been on one.
You didn't instantly Google what it was?
No, I didn't. But this is what I think. I think you sit on some sort of donut pedal or donut seat, and as you pedal with the chain, up comes a little buddy through the. It's what I'm thinking.
It's like an episode. There's an episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and it's like that's what they have is one of those. And now that's what I'm thinking. There's just like a giant tandem bike that like it goes in a wave, you know? Like it's just like a wah, 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 wah. And that's what I'm thinking it is now.
You just got to perfectly position yourself on it.
And why would you advertise that at a sex shop? Because like, do people get to try it out, or is it like what, or is it like on a display? I'm not sure.
Hi there, we're the Alien Theorists. We've had a couple of hot toddies, and we want to take the sex bike out for a spin.
Oh fuck!
Anyway. So we probably should have gone in, but
Should have.
we had all our luggage and stuff with us. So right to Planet 13 we went. Initial thoughts, dude, that place is awesome. Awesome.
Well, they put
Little, a little bit scary when you come up and there's like armed guards out front. But
hands on the pistol, just like sitting there.
Yeah.
it's the first. I mean, weed's legal in Canada here, but I've yet to be to like a store that provides it. So this store, like Planet 13, is really my first legal dispensary I've been to. Man, very professional. They've got like weird orbs flying around, people everywhere talking about weed.
They put some production value into that.
Yeah, you sign up for like a little tour guide, and they like show you around. And like I like that the guy that we got said was like the first thing he's like, "Tell me how you want to feel, and I'll tell you what you need to get."
Yeah, that was awesome.
That was like that's That's exactly the kind of thing that I need to know.
We're all like, good. My favorite thing he asked is when he turned to Zell and he goes, hey man, like I don't want to, how much do you smoke? I don't want to give you too much. And Zell's like, yeah, man, I'll be all right.
Give me that 3-gram joint right now, please.
Yeah. In previous case studies or in previous case files, Zell's talked about how he's putting his body through the 10-year study on the effects of marijuana. So I think he'll be
I'm
okay.
a first-hand account. First thing you got to say, though, about the weed in this place, the production value and the building and the armed guards comes with a hefty price tag. This weed in this place is the most expensive weed I've ever seen by far. There was they were selling 1 ounce. It would range from like $240 US, so Canada times it by like 4, to there was 1 ounce. It was like $380 for an ounce of weed. I was like, this is insanity. No weed can be that good.
Well, you didn't try it.
Well, we tried a couple of them.
So we did our shopping. Zell got the old party joint. It's like this fucking 4-inch
It's fucking huge.
behemoth.
That thing was huge.
We got some edibles to try, and we were on our way. Happy campers. Next stop, I don't remember, what did we do? Oh, we walked all the way to the CVS.
No, that was so funny because we asked the guy at the front, hey, when's the shuttle? Because there's a shuttle that brings you to the strip. And he's like, man, I don't know. You ask inside. You go ask inside. They're like, I don't know. Ask outside. We're like, okay, go back outside. We're
No,
like,
they're like, oh, the best person to ask would probably be the guys outside.
Yeah.
We just asked the guy outside.
So then we're like, oh, well,
right.
we'll just walk. Like, how far is it? He's like, it's 1.5 miles or whatever. We're like, all right. We start walking. Here comes the shuttle. Like 30 seconds
Yeah,
after.
drove right past us.
Yeah.
Fuck. Should we go back? Nah. All good.
So we go. I remember we walked out to the strip. We found that. That was our first encounter with a crazy guy. Remember, we walked past that rainbow staircase that we went up by, and as we came back down around, that guy came like walking up, and he was all shaky, and he's going, we're like, oh god.
Welcome to Vegas, boys.
Wide berth.
Detour.
Yeah. Well, we loaded up on beers. We took an Uber to our Airbnb, got all set up, crushed a couple. Oh, you know what? That's really where we threw on the first of many old Simpsons.
Oh, that's
As we were
right.
getting ready.
Because the only thing that worked on our TV was that Sling TV? Was it Sling
Yeah.
TV? Yeah.
Something like that.
That was the only thing that worked. And we were like, well, the only thing we could really get to work was Simpsons episodes. So we started watching old Simpsons.
Fuck, they're funny.
Excellent.
Great
Excellent.
show.
Can't speak highly enough. So we get all showered up, pick our beds, and then, we're going to hit the town. Did we go right to Fremont Street right away? Or did we go back to the strip? I can't remember. I think we went right to Fremont.
I think we did. Yeah, right down.
Yeah. Yeah.
So right down to the old freaky Fremont Street. Dude, that place is
Cool place.
fucking
That's fine.
wild. So we walked the strip a couple times. We were just crushing beers.
Yeah, we drank.
Tall boys from ABC's, beers in the casino. So we were just walking around, looking the sights, looking the sounds. I don't remember. There was some concerts going on. We watched some concerts.
No. This is what happened. I forgot about this part. We got hungry.
Oh, gross.
yeah.
Don't even remind me.
Then we're
I don't even want to think about it.
Man, we're in the States. We got to check out some of these famous States chains.
Fast food,
chains.
yeah.
So what do we see? We see White Castle.
Yeah,
Like, the
they
only
don't
thing
have
you know-
White Castles where I'm at, so I'm like, oh yeah, let's go to White Castle. I've never really been to one, and I was like, hey, yeah, let's go in here.
It's funny because we
Now-
walk in and we ask the guy, like, what do we get? They're like, I don't know. We're like, it's our first time here. They're like, oh, what do you know about White Castle? I'm like, I don't know, Harold and Kumar. And that was all right. Like, we'll get 10 cheese sliders, please. Like, whatever. Get whatever we get. I've never been so disappointed in some type of fast food
things
burger
are-
in my life.
I don't know. Like the first one was okay, and then after you eat the rest of it,
I remember as you were like, Zell like starts to like pull it apart to look at it, and I'm like, I was like, don't look at it. The more
First
you look at it,
mistake.
the worse it gets. Dude, it had that like thin paper gray patty. I was like,
Oh yeah,
well,
it was pretty gross.
It's like a little bit like relish
It was-
pickle on there, and I don't even know what was on there. A little
That was
piece of like.
terrible.
They looked like they took cat food and like put it into a patty. And
It's exactly what it looked like. Yeah, blended up cat food, pressed into a patty.
Yeah. Oh, so we thoroughly enjoyed all 10 sliders. And then back out to the strip, just crushed an insane more beers. Now we were walking around. I remember there was concerts. Oh, we saw the Kick the Nuts guy again.
Oh yeah,
oh yeah, we did.
And we watched the guy tee him up.
teed him right up.
Yeah,
He didn't even flinch for that guy, though.
yeah, just like
He, like,
just
taunted him.
brought
Just-
it down and just like braced up. It was like didn't even get him
He
off the
took it.
ground though.
And shook his hand and was like, yep, good, cool.
Good, $5 well
Next.
worth it.
That's still crazy. And then I remember, now things start to get blurry for me as we're walking around Fremont. Crushing tall boys left. Dude, that's my favorite thing about Vegas. Tall boys everywhere. That's all we're.
I just like the
Tall
fact,
boys.
no open container law, so you could just walk around, or
Yeah.
like on the strip and stuff. Like there's no open container, so you just walk around drinking beers. It's the best.
What's funny on Fremont Street too? You go to the CVS, grab it, and you buy the beer, and then they put it in a bag and like roll it and staple it shut because you're not supposed to drink it on the strip. So you just walk around the
Or
corner.
you're not supposed to open it on the strip
Yeah, not
Walk-
supposed to open it on Fremont Street.
because
because you're supposed to. The rule is, I think you're supposed to be like you get it from a casino and then you come out with it already open and like you can.
or you
know.
buy it.
Some
from
of the places
vendor.
were giving people cups, which is nice. Like some of the places gave people cups. And I was like, yeah, so you can drink. You just can't open it a brand new one on the strip. Like you're supposed to be able to walk from casino to casino with an open drink. So you couldn't open it on the street. So we were just walking off the strip. Like we'd walk off like half a block and then we'd open it and then just walk back on just to be careful.
Surprise.
I think we were being overly cautious. I don't think
Probably.
really anybody cared.
I don't know, man. Just the security in
I've
Vegas.
I've seen security take people's beers one of the times I was there, so it does happen. But I've just come out of there and just the first garbage I seen, turf the bag and open my beer, and no one said anything. So I think it's just kind of where you are, and if you have some shitty luck.
Yeah.
So we're just getting absolute blitz now. We had messaged out to some fans where places to go, and one of the places was Atomic Liquor,
Little dive
which
bar.
is little dive bar. It's actually
Like the
fucking
definition of a dive bar, like a dive bar.
awesome. Yeah.
Dark.
So I think it's fucking grungy.
Maximum dark. Like you couldn't see. We couldn't even see the bar. First when I walked in, I couldn't even see them. I was like, where are we supposed to sit? Can't see
Yeah,
anything.
it takes a while for your eyes to adjust to the light. We got a couple drinks in there. A couple. What were they? They weren't hot toddies. I'll tell you that.
No, they weren't.
They
You
were-
guys got two, like the Hunter S. Thompson drinks, and then I got something else, and then I don't know. One of them was
Yeah.
what was it? Zell ordered something gin, and it was just pine needles. and
Yeah,
a
pretty
cup.
much. Blended pine needles.
Yeah, it was. So, anyways, we had been crushing tall boys so much, we probably didn't need those two whiskeys.
Definitely not.
So crushing beers there, real cool, chill
Wait,
little
what?
spot.
We bought whiskeys there too. We bought shots there.
Wasn't it? Oh, gin. Sorry. Oh, we did buy shots there. I thought too.
Did we? I don't
I
know.
think so.
That's
I
how
think we
fuzzy
did
it's
some
getting
fire-
here. We're 3/4
Yeah.
nitro at this
I was
point.
like, yeah. So from there, we decide we're going to walk back up the strip on the other side. We come to the Swum Bar. On the side of the sign, it says karaoke Thursdays, free cover. So we're like, well, it's Thursday, boys. We go into this bar.
Dead.
They have this fucking brilliant stage set up. Fucking lights,
Yeah, it was-
backdrop.
Yeah,
It's balling.
and
Not
zero
a soul.
people.
Not
that was
a soul
That was the
in there.
perfect rock and roll bar for a show. Like if I was to play it, that was like the best bar. I was like, this is fucking awesome. Great big stage, tall ceilings. No one
Yeah.
there.
I mean-
no one fucking there.
Lucky for them, they had a band cancel that night. I guess they were supposed to have a band.
Yeah.
But lucky for them, the Theorists showed up. Yeah. And we came to play.
Saved the day.
So we sang. I think we sang a couple tunes the first time, and they had some cheap PBRs. So we were crushing some PBRs, singing some tunes. You may, if you were following our Insta story, you probably saw us just destroy a couple renditions of your favorite songs.
It's amazing.
Half in the bag. So we decide, it's still early. It's like, I think it was only like 11 o'clock or something. So we're like, you know what? Like, let's, as fun as it is just to sing karaoke to each other and the three staff here, let's go to a casino. Let's try our hand. Let's see what Lady Luck has in store for us. So across the street is the El Cortez. So we're walking around looking for a nice spot to kind of like park it. We're pretty fucking drunk now, but we're like, our plan is sit down, take a load off our feet for a bit, sober up, but also get some free rum and cokes while we're gambling.
Also, keep drinking.
Sober up, yet keep drinking.
So we find a dollar blackjack,
$1
video blackjack. So there's 5 spots. It goes Zell, Dan, me, and then this old American guy beside me. That guy was a fucking beauty, by the way.
He was
That
sweet.
guy was
That was
really
sitting
nice.
beside me.
Red Wings fan.
Yeah, loved. Anytime I'd be like, "Yeah, buddy," he'd just be like, "Oh, say that again." "Oh yeah, oh yeah." He'd be like, "Oh yeah, say that again." Just having a time. Then this fucking other old guy sat beside Zell. This fucking guy, man.
The guy beside Brayden was about, what do you think, 55?
Yeah, 55,
60?
60 maybe.
Guy sat beside me, he was senior. He was 80. He was at least 80.
Fucking old as balls, man. He could not fucking, like, it was like watching a fucking old guy work any kind of fucking technology. So he's sitting there, it's his turn. All he has to do is hit or stand, and we're all sitting there like waiting patiently. No one wants to be rude and be like, go and like rush him like he's making a decision. But he's just sitting there. So finally Zell would be like, "Hey man, like, it's your turn, yeah, hit or stand." And he just like fucking button mash one of the buttons. And then like he'd be like, "Oh," he fucking mumble some shit, and we're all like, "Holy fuck," right? Jesus.
We thought he was hammered drunk.
Yeah. Comes around the horn again, and same shit. He's just fucking sitting there in a fucking glaze. Zell's like, "Yeah, hey man, like, it's your turn again." Same thing, fucking button message. And then my favorite part was after doing this about 4 or 5 times, where we'd have to remind him it was his turn. Zell's like, "Hey man, yeah, it's your turn." He button mashes, and then on the next hand, he was smashing the button the whole time, even though it wasn't his turn. He was just smashing it, just waiting. "Oh, it's coming, it's coming." So we're all looking like Dan, Zell, and I, and this fucking old timer we were with, we're all looking at each other like laughing at this guy. And he finally just has had enough of technology, and he's fucking out of here. So he packs up and fucking pieces. So we've been sitting there for a while. We've had, what do you think, three rum and cokes?
Yeah, it's just about
At least, yeah.
Three rum and cokes. Again, we did not sober up at all. We got more drunk sitting here.
yeah.
All of a sudden, there's just like, I'm sitting there. I'm kind of out of the cash that I was going to spend on blackjack. And there's this woman, and "Oh my God, I need help. I need help. My dad's having a stroke. My dad's having a stroke.
Does anybody know first aid? Does anybody
is
know
there a
first
doctor?
aid?
Does anyone know first aid?" So I'm like, "Oh shit." Like in my head, I'm like, "Okay, well, I have first aid." So I turn around, and the old guy that was sitting with us is slouched over the digital roulette table. He's just sitting there. And like, you can see, like when I looked at him, I was like, "Oh, this guy's fucked." You could see just pure terror in his eyes. Like his eyes, he knew what was going on, but you could see he couldn't control anything. His face was all slumped, and his hands were kind of shaking, and arms were kind of like really tense. Like it was fucked
It was
up. It was really
crazy.
scary. So she's yelling, "Does anyone call the ambulance? Get someone to call an ambulance." And Zell gets up, and we're all turned around now.
We're like, oh, you should call security. You should tell Vegas. You should tell the casino. She's like, oh, I told security already. And it's like, well, I
No,
mean,
we
they're
can call.
they're calling an ambulance. I'm pretty sure.
So
So I was just, yeah, you've
So
never
I'm-
seen, I've never been, like, I've called 911 before a couple times, but I've never been max level drunk and stoned trying to call 911.
yeah, oh, dude.
Zell whips out his phone and is like dialing on it and calling. And it's like, oh, man.
They asked me, like, what's your emergency? I was like, okay, be composed, don't slur. I was like, what's your emergency? They're like, whatever they say, like police, medical, fire, blah, blah, blah. I was like, I think guy's having a stroke. So they put me on that phone. I'm on the phone with them for like 2 minutes, explaining the situation. So hammered. And then finally, like, the security comes with like the medic, I
They had
guess.
the AED. Yeah, they had the AED thing. I mean, the casino, I'm sure this is not their first.
Oh, hell
If,
no.
if the guy was having a stroke or whether he was super drunk, it's not their first time. It's not their first rodeo.
Definitely not.
But it was
just-
fucked
we're just
because
right
I
there.
stepped up. I was like, I know first aid, and I was like, in my head, I'm like, this guy might need CPR. I stepped up and I was like, okay, well, he looks like he's having a stroke, and I instantly was like, I don't think there's anything I can do other than get this person medical attention. But then because I'm so fucked up, I'm like, shit, is that the right call, or am I just too fucked up to remember what I'm supposed to do? So as I'm telling the wife, like, yeah, just keep him calm. I pull my cell phone and I go on Wi-Fi to type in, like, what do you do in the first, like, what do you do when someone's having a stroke? And it's like, basically my drunk mind was right. It's like, just get this person keep them calm, get this person medical help. So as you know, his wife is behind him. She's just holding him. And she was weird because she was totally calm. And she's going,
Yeah.
oh, he's fine. He's fine. And like his daughter was fucking having a meltdown.
Oh, yeah. Which I
And
don't
then-
understand why she didn't have a phone.
Yeah, that's
She looked like the kind of person who would have a phone, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
But-
so, yeah.
so- As she's freaking out, going, we need a doctor, this and that. The fucking roulette table that he's sitting at is full with people playing. And every so often, they would win and everyone would go, woo! As this guy's dying at the same table. So
fucked
it was
up,
super
man.
fucking. And then I remember like looking at all them and them like, they didn't even fucking pay any mind to this guy dying at the roulette table.
Yeah, we
So
saw.
medical service comes, they all show up. We're like, oh, thank God we can go back to just being drunks. So we like saunter back to the blackjack table that's right beside. We like sit down to finish our drinks. I turned to Zell and I was like, Zell, you should go all in. There's no way like karma can give you a bad hand.
What did
So Zell-
what did I put in there? I can't even remember what the dollar
I
was.
can't remember. You put in like $10 or something. I can't remember. Fucking whatever you had left. It was like $10 or whatever. Zell goes all in. Did you hit a blackjack?
I didn't hit blackjack, but I won.
Yeah, you won. And all of us go, woo! And turned to see this guy still fucking having a stroke behind us.
fucking
I was like,
horrible.
ooh, it's time to go. Let's get out of here.
We should go.
Yeah, that was a time.
Yeah. So fucking, it was just wild the fact that everyone was just like, paying no mind, like slots are like ching 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 woo. This guy's fucking stroking out. I was like, oh, it's very surreal. So then we go back. We're like, hey, fuck the El Cortez. Bad vibes.
Bad juju.
Bad juju. So we head back to I don't even remember what that bar was called. We head back to the karaoke bar. So we go there. Now there's like 4 people in there. There's another couple. There's there's 2 couples in there, and so we just start singing songs. We're crushing beers. This old the old black lady that was in there, she's like, she goes up, requests a song. She's like, I need my boys singing backup. So like points at us. So like we go up. We're singing backup. I don't even remember what fucking song we were singing.
Oh, I don't remember either.
No
I was like,
idea.
what song do we sing?
It was some old song where we were like some shoop doo doop doo doop doo doop doo 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 doop.
We definitely butchered
I don't
it.
even remember what song it was.
Theorists are always obliged to
Yeah.
assist in karaoke emergencies.
So then she was a really good singer, and who I thought was her husband, he was like, man, he was just thrilled to just be singing and stuff. Like kept coming up to us. he was singing. So I don't remember how long we stayed there. Now we're in blackout territory.
Oh, for sure. Fireball shots come out at
Yeah,
this time.
that was an epic fireball shot. That thing set me straight. That was good.
That set me into overdrive. Beep 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 beep. So we crushed, man. We sang so much, I lost my voice. We were having a time. There's only like 6 people in the bar. It was a time. So much fun. Then the one couple, the older black lady, leaves, and it turns out that like her and who I thought were a husband aren't even together. Which then instantly made like this guy that was now hanging around us super awkward.
Oh yeah, I totally blocked this part of the night out.
Yeah, because I thought he was with his wife, and his wife was having a sing with him, so that was kind of the connection. And then he was like, when I realized he's just like a lone guy by himself, I was kind of like, oh, okay, all right. So we go outside, and Zell sparks up a J. This guy wants to partake. And I can't remember some of the stuff he was saying, but he was saying keywords that were setting my alarm bells off. Like, you guys like chicks, and like, yeah, just saying super kind of weird stuff. So right away I'm like, oh, I'm recognizing all the signs. We got a clinger. Like, this guy is gonna stay with us till
he's
gonna
got us.
We're gonna be with this guy for the rest of the weekend, basically. So we're sitting there smoking. This guy's talking and asking us if we like chicks, like where we can find chicks and all this stuff. And I'm like, oh, we start walking down the strip, and I kind of like pull back. I pulled back with Dan, and I go, yo, man, like, we got to ditch this guy.
We got to go. We got to hit the eject
We got to
button.
ditch this guy. we got to sneak away, man. This guy, I'm telling you, this guy's bad news. I can just tell by what he's saying. Let's get out of here.
Leads nowhere good.
So then we catch up with Zell. Zell kind of pulls back for a second. And I kind of whisper, I'm like, yo, let's ditch this guy, man. Like, we'll just run away. Let's run away. That's the plan. We're in Vegas. We'll just run away and lose him in the crowd. So Zell's kind of like, yeah, like, yep, I'm in. Everyone's in. The one problem with this plan is that we didn't discuss
when
the timing.
When we were
yeah.
gonna, the timing.
We didn't synchronize our watches.
Yeah.
So
we're all over the place.
Brain, we come up to the intersection, and Brain just takes off in one direction, and Zell keeps walking with the one guy, and I'm kind of standing there, and I'm like, and I look at Zell and the guy, and I just kind of I think I just about maintained eye contact and just walked where Brain and just kept walking.
Dude, I made it 200 meters, and when I looked back, I was like, oh shit, no one else is running.
And Zell kept walking with the guy.
Okay,
I was like, well, I can't go back now.
This is why I'm walking with the guy. So now at this point, I'm in front. This guy's right in my ear. He's talking to me, so I'm fucking drunk. I'm talking back. Braden bolts. Dan's there dazed, and then he slowly walks away, and he's like, "What the fuck's wrong with your friends?" And I was like, they're the crazy guys, they're just doing crazy shit. I don't know.
Couple wild crazy guys.
He's like, he puts his arm around me. He's like, "You're still my man though tonight, right? We're gonna hang out. We're gonna party." And I was like, oh shit, like, I'm locked. I'm never gonna get away from this guy.
He's got you in the hook. He's got you in the buddy hook.
Braden and Dan are gone. They're down a different fucking road. So I'm walking this guy. There's a casino beside me. I'm like, all right, I gotta ditch this guy and I gotta get out of here. So I'm like, hey man, like, I'll meet you at the slots, like right here. I just gotta take a quick piss. He's like, I gotta take a piss too. I was like, oh fuck. So I do a quick walk, really quick into the bathroom. Like, so I kind of like, I put some distance between myself and this guy. I go into the bathroom. I go around the corner. There's like a little like nook with no mirror. So I kind of hide there really quick. I see him walk in the bathroom. As soon as he walks in the bathroom and his back's towards me, I bolt out of the bathroom. I sprint through the casino. The security probably thought I fucking stole something. I'm sprinting through the casino. I go out the back doors on Esco booking, and I call Braden as I'm running. Like, where the fuck are you guys?
Zell putting the Mission Impossible on this guy.
And the whole time I was escaping, I was looking over my shoulder. It's like, this guy's probably going to follow me. He's not letting me go. No way.
So I remember meeting back up with you, Zell, but then lights out for me. I don't did we just get an Uber after that?
This was late. It was 2:30 or 3 or maybe even 3:30. We Ubered back to the place. We got in. We put on some Simpsons. Like, yeah, we smoked a little more weed. I was like, I'm going to order a pizza. So I ordered this fucking.
Oh yeah.
I ordered this fucking extra. I was like, what's your biggest pizza? It's like, oh, we got Joe's Special. It's 14-inch, like deep dish. It feeds like 4 to 6 people. I was like, yeah, that's perfect.
God.
I ordered like, I'll get double pepperoni, blah, 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 all the shit. Order it. You have to pay it beforehand. I just wake up in the morning with my phone on my chest with like 5 missed calls from Joe's Pizza. Like, where are you guys? Text messages like, I'm here, we're at the door. What the fuck? Missed our pizza. Lost it.
Never got that pizza. So
Sucks.
sad.
But good night. Great first night.
That was good. That was fun.
Yeah, first night, 8 out of 10.
Yeah,
8 out of 10.
for sure.
Brayden, if you were planning on losing that guy in the crowd, you chose the wrong street because you ran down that street and there were 0 people.
Oh yeah, dude, it was just
It was wide open.
Open.
And he runs down there and I see him just kind of like, he just kind of hops off the sidewalk like behind a bush and just like hides behind that bush and then kind of like peeks his head out. And I was like, oh man.
I was like, and the worst part, I was like 200 meters away. So I was just like peeking out. I'm like, ooh, think they can hear me? Or do they think, did I run far enough that they couldn't see where I went? But I was so gassed because we had eaten so much shitty food and those spicy tacos, I had heartburn.
Oh. It's good stuff.
But
Fun
8
night.
out of
Good
10.
times.
8 out of 10. So surprisingly, we had planned to do the Atomic Museum the next day at 11 in the morning. When I woke up at 9, I think we woke up at 8:30 or 9, I was like, there is not a fucking chance that we are going to get motivated enough to get dressed and leave this house.
I felt great.
I was feeling pretty rough.
I was at the point where I was like, no force on this planet could get me to move off this couch right now. Like, I'm not going anywhere.
It was the amount of booze. I was still feeling, I wasn't quite hungover. I was getting into being hungover, but I was still drunk. And the lack of sleep, I was just like, holy fuck, man. Like, I don't think I can do it. Through a miracle of science, a banana, a little puff of and an edible.
Yep.
We took some edibles. We rallied.
Yep.
Off to the Atomic Museum we go. It's not quite open, so we decided we go to Jack in the Box across the street first.
Mm-hmm.
That was awesome.
Quality chicken
sandwich.
sandwiches.
That was our-
those were so
quality.
good.
That was our
Chicken
second
sandwich.
American chain, and it was
Yeah.
actually delicious.
Yeah, they
the
knocked that
spot.
chicken sandwich out of the park. So go back into the Atomic Museum. Man, that place is fucking cool. But I will say this. The second we got back through the doors, my edible set in fucking big time, man. I was like, holy, time was just crawling. I was like, oh my God. I felt like it took me 15 minutes to read each sign. So I'm like, oh my God, I hope, like right as I'm thinking, I hope no one comes to meet us at this Atomic Museum. Lo and behold, our old friends, we met in LA, 3 absolute top shelf beauties, Chris, Jess, and Cole, show up. I was like, oh my God, I can't even talk.
Braden's
Braden's
peeking.
like off in some corner, just like staring at stuff, and or just like I could barely talk too because it started like the first night we had taken some edibles and we'd smoked some, and I didn't really feel anything that night. But today, like I took one of those edibles and I was just like, oh man.
Yeah, I was like, holy.
Ooh.
So going through the Atomic Museum, absolute. What was the highlight for you guys? What was the highlight of Atomic Museum?
I thought the movie thing was
The movie
pretty
was
cool.
sweet.
That they did that film they showed.
Of the bomb and then like the air
it's like
shot out at you.
Yeah, you sat in this little tiny theater, kind of like just sit down, like one of those museum theaters or whatever. And it's just like, a couple, not that many people or anything. And you sit down and they turn out the lights. And then the front is like a screen, but it's set back in like the concrete. And it's like you're looking outside a bunker, like you're watching an atomic detonation test.
Mhm.
And that was cool. And they put down a little screen and then they started showing some stuff, and that really kind of tripped me out well, I was pretty high, so it just started tripping me out about what was going on, and then that's when it really kicked into overdrive for me.
And that museum was so sweet because you look back on all the old analog technology from the time, and it just looks so simple. Like the fucking bombs, just like this little pull switch. You turn it, it's like on, armed, off, and then like drop, impact. There's like 3 different settings of how it blows up. You're just like, this seems just so simple and yet so unsafe.
Yeah, that's the big demonstration bomb they had, and there's just that loose like turn thing. It's like armed, disarmed. I was like, is that how easy it is to just murder an entire city? It's just this little turn thing.
Yeah.
Jesus.
It was
crazy.
It was super neat looking at all the stuff that just like the nuclear age had just ushered in all this stuff, that the impact it had on our culture and all of like how it shaped like civilization basically. And I think what we like they had the applications, like possible applications for nuclear weapons, and one of them was like, yeah, we can use these for digging out canals, or there's like, yeah, you could detonate a nuclear weapon and then like, you know, it vaporizes the dirt and anything that's within the range. So it's just like their idea was like, you know, you set it underground and then you just set it off and you could just dig a whole canal with atomic warheads.
Yeah, there was 12.
That seems like an overkill.
12 times they did it. They said they did it 12 times before they're like, you know what, this is a bad idea.
This is a terrible idea. Why would we do this?
Actually, you know what my favorite part was? Actually, at the end, we're still peeking from the weed, from the edibles, and there's like the slideshow. There's like a little dial.
Oh yeah, that was so cool.
And you could change the speed of, like, you could watch the like a building be blown up or like trees getting blown over, but you could do it in like really slow motion, like, and it was we
frame by
sat
frame
there for 20 minutes playing on that thing.
Oh yeah, you guys sat on that thing forever, and I was like, oh man, they're so high, because they were just like they're rewinding it back and forth, just like, and they stood there for an honest, you guys stood there for a inordinate amount of time.
It was so cool though, because you would slow it down and you would see the initial wave. You'd be like, woo, and everything would just slightly move, and then it would just be like, boom. Everything would just get leveled. So you'd be like, oh, you watch everything really slowly just get obliterated. It was super.
It was
cool.
really cool.
You watch like the paint vaporize off houses and cars initially, and then the impact hit like just a fraction of a second after. Boom.
Yeah. Oh,
cool shit.
Oh, it was the paint coming off the bus. That was cool.
Oh, that's the coolest one.
Yeah. You just watched.
I remember.
Yeah, it was cool.
I remember sitting there and thinking, being like, it's showing that video of like all the people watching with their fucking goggles on.
Yeah.
They're just standing there watching this explosion and seeing this at a distance. And like, you got to imagine they'd just be turning to each other and be like, holy shit. Yeah, this is fucking crazy. We just blew a crater in the earth.
Yeah, vaporized the crater.
Like there's dirt, there's ground there, there's stone there that isn't there anymore. It's been vaporized. It's gone. Like, it was super cool. Just
that was very cool museum. We took a little break after. We said, okay, we're gonna take a break and we'll meet on the strip and we'll start drinking some beers. Now our plan was, because we'd done so much walking around the night before, we wanted to find a nice bar. The sun was out. The sun was putting off some nice heat. It was cold in the evenings, but putting off some nice heat. So we'd go find a patio with some cheap beers, chill out, crush some beers, do some good people watching. Went back to the place, crushed a old episode of Simpsons as we were getting ready. And then what was the bar even called that we ended up at?
I'm not 100% sure. I don't know what it's called. It was just some bar there on the strip. Like,
it was like a sidewalk bar, pretty much.
Yeah, sidewalk bar. It was. I don't even remember what it's called, but
patio bar.
We had our only plan was to sit and have a couple beers. And
we were gonna walk. Yeah,
through events not controlled by us at all. We ended up staying there for like fucking 9 hours and drinking the bar dry out of beer.
Dry.
We drank
no more beer.
Bar out of beer.
Yeah, they were selling buckets of beer, like domestic. Like you could buy 5 bottles of domestic, whatever, and then it was
for
like $11.
It's
unreal.
It's fucking. So we set up there. We threw it out on our social media. Hey guys, anyone who wants to come have a beer, this is where we'll be. So we just started crushing buckets. Cole, Chris, and Jess showed up. Did they show? No, they didn't even show up first. Derek. Derek. That guy's a beauty.
Beauty Derek, yeah, showed up first.
Beauty Derek showed up first. Crushed a couple buckets with him. Man,
Did a little theorizing.
Yeah.
Because
I think we'd already, by the time,
'Cause
we
were there.
we talked a little bit about stuff like favorite theories and junk, and then that was fun. And then we were already like 4 buckets in or something.
Yeah. We got there around probably 2:00. It's 4:30 now. Chris, Cole, and Jess are there. Some other people are starting to show up. We're just crushing buckets, man. Just crushing buckets, shooting the shit, having a good time. All of a sudden, this old guy comes. It's like, it's probably like 5:30. This old guy comes, and he's like, I need you all to move the table to another table. And he's kind of dressed like a shitty Elvis.
Yeah, 100%.
He's got it looks like he's got like a Kmart running suit on, and it's got he glued sequins onto it, and he's got a really bad like Elvis pompadour wig on, and we're just kind of.
And he's got those really big fake like veneers.
Yeah.
Man,
give him that like
so
perfect
funny.
white big smile. But he's old as balls, man. He's like 70. So we're like, okay, is there any reason we have to move? And he goes, well, this is where I like to set up karaoke.
Dun, dun, dun.
Shit. Oh, well, now we know where we're staying because we didn't even seek karaoke. Karaoke sought us. So this old guy, Chris, his name was Chris too, I believe.
I think it was.
Yeah.
He fires up. Dude, the production value was hilarious. So he sets up this little TV. He's got his mics.
He had that big old speaker thing on the back.
He had a big old speaker that was
LED
bejeweled.
speakers. That thing was cool.
He had the little laser light
Yeah, a little flash.
that he set up on the floor. And this is right off the side of the strip. So like everyone's walking down the strip. So there's big crowds walking past. And now
We
got
did
your
not
boys.
give a fuck.
We're wasted. Man, we've been drinking buckets on buckets for like 8 hours. Now we're just screaming karaoke at the top of our lungs.
Oh, and Chris is like, he points to me and he's like, I've got a song for you. I've got a song for you. And I was like, oh, okay. I just sang, I don't know. I think Brandy's my go-to. So I already sang Brandy and then by Looking Glass. And then, so he's like, okay, I've got a song for you. I'm like, all right. So I get up there and I'm like, I'm ready for this song. And it's I'm Just a Gigolo. And I've heard of the song. I've never heard it. And so it's just singing. I did my best. Just sang along. I was like, okay, he picked it. You got to sing it. Got to do it.
This guy loved, this guy
We made his life.
Yeah. I don't know if he ever had people sing.
He made our
sing
life.
karaoke.
Oh, man.
It was fun.
We had a real good time.
So we're crushing karaoke. I go to get some buckets. I'm like, hey, we get some more buckets? She goes, is it okay if I just mix whatever we have? And I go, yeah, why? And she goes, we're almost out of beer. Like, we don't have much beer left. You guys are going to end up drinking us out. I was like, what? You're going to drink a bar out of beer? Unbelievable.
There was we had maybe 9 people there, a group of 9 or something.
Yeah.
And we drank
Group of 9, I think.
like 90 buckets.
Holy fuck, man. We
drank
were
a lot.
polishing.
Oh, man.
So it's instantly a blur there. Derek had brought he earlier. He's like, hey, I know this is a little weird, but I bought these edibles that I don't like. Here they are in the package. They just kind of, I don't know if I thought you guys might want them.
Wait, we weren't still at the patio.
No,
bar.
this is early. This is when we first got there. He whipped out these edibles, and we're like, yeah, sure, we'll take them. Why not? Flash forward. Can't talk. Flash forward 8 hours. We're blitzed, absolutely blitzed, screaming. I don't know, brown eyed girl or some shit, man. Fucking wasted, yelling at the strip, just screaming at people. Someone goes, hey, you want one of these edibles? And
No.
Dan looks at it, and what you turned to tell me something?
Wait, no, this was after. That was after we left that bar and we went to Twin Peaks.
Oh, I thought I ate it right before we
Oh,
left.
no.
This is how drunk
so
you were, Brady.
after we finished, we settled up at that bar after we drank all their beer. And we're like, we get there, and I think Black Round Pond came and took us to
Black Round Pond. What a beauty.
I guess he's a local there, and he said, he was like, hey, you should go to this place, or somebody said, or maybe it was Derek, I don't know. Somebody suggested like, hey, we can go to this place. It's like Hooters for lumberjacks or something.
Yeah,
I think something
exactly
like that.
what he
Hooters,
said.
but lumberjacks, and we're like, okay, sure, why not? So we went to this place, Twin Peaks, and then we get there and we all sit down. We order a couple beers and stuff, and then one guy was like, hey, you guys want these edibles? And he got them in these packages. And we're like, and like I looked at it and I knew I was already pretty drunk. I was like,
this is what happened, Dan.
Eat these.
He gave this to me. He gave this to me early in the day, and when I got there, Black Ron Pond showed up. We're talking about a whole bunch of theories and stuff, and I was like, you know what? I asked him. I was like, hey, you like edibles? He's like, hell yeah, it's my favorite thing. So he has an edible. I have an edible. I go to Dan. He's like, I don't want that. I go to Braden. I was like, Braden, you want that? And then Dan's like, what'd you say?
I was like, no, I probably shouldn't eat this. And I was going to turn to Braden because he was already pretty. I was going to turn to Braden, like, you probably shouldn't eat this. I turned to Braden. It's already gone. Like,
he ate it.
I was like, oh man, that's not going to end well. Because I think you started talking about the concentration. You're like, oh wow, these are like really, you're like, oh.
Oh, dude, that thing set in within 10 minutes.
I think you can see it, like the change, like just the change of just like, whoa.
Oh man, dude, honestly, it was like I was looking through binoculars when you look through them the wrong way. And I was just spinning in my own brain. My brain was just like, just doing whips. I was dying.
Yeah,
we got to Twin Peaks. I was like, I remember eating food and I was just like, oh man, I am messed up. Like,
it was like brain got sucked up to the mothership. Like,
I need some. And it's funny because earlier in the day when we're heading out, I said, all right, boys, we have an option. Tomorrow we're planning to go to Area 51. Now, we have two options. We either go out and we have a night like we normally have, which is going to involve us getting super drunk, having a good time to the wee hours in the morning, and potentially not getting up early enough to go to Area 51. So, if that's a very real possibility. So, if in case we get too wasted, what's our backup plan? And everyone goes, well, we want to go to Area 51. I go, I do too. But I know we're not going to sacrifice having a good time tonight in order to make it.
We don't negotiate.
Yeah, we don't negotiate with not having a good time. So we're like, oh, fuck it. We're going to make it work. So I don't know. I don't even know what time it was when we're at Twin Peaks.
It was
it had to be late. I can't remember if they were closing.
I don't think it was more than like 11 or 12 probably. By the time we got there.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I don't even know what happened.
And then we left there and then we walked. And did we get some? I think we got some more Tall Boys. Didn't we go to like Walgreens or something?
We did a few more stops for Tall Boys after that. 100%.
Oh, dude. I must have been weekend at Bernie's, just walking around, dude.
Oh, you were zombie.
Like,
you were zombie.
Yeah, I was.
But no, we had to go about. Okay, so yeah, it had been warm in the morning and through the afternoon, and so me and Braden had just worn t-shirts.
Oh,
and we just wore our
idea.
sweet Vegas ATT Vegas shirts that we got made, and then so it starts getting a little bit chilly, and then Braden's like, I need a sweater. So, like after we left Twin Peaks, I think he's like, let's just go in one of these cheap stores and just buy one of these. So we went on one of the strip stores and bought, like, I had to get one too because I was cold. So we got these. Braden brought like the smallest sweater.
Dude, that's how I know I was drunk. I bought a small. It barely fit. Like when I tried it on when I got home, I was like, how was I wearing this? It was so tight. I was like, I can't believe I bought this for myself. It was $40 American, and it doesn't fit me. I don't know how I was wearing it.
That was hilarious.
Yeah, God, it was good. But yeah, I don't remember what time we finished. It had to have been like 1 or 2.
No, it was like 2:30 because we just walked around for a while. Like I just bullshitted with whoever on the strip that I could, talking to everyone. Then we've ended up in the Venetian.
Zell's a talker. Zell's a talker when he gets drunk.
Oh, I remember we went to the.
Well-
I remember ending up at the Venetian because we wanted to see the fountains.
Well,
yeah.
No, that was the Bellagio. The fountains were closed. That was
Bellagio,
earlier in the
yeah.
night.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Well, it's because
No, it had to have been around midnight because we were just like, oh, we just missed it, right?
Yeah.
So that's where. But then at the end of the night, we ended up at the Venetian. But
Oh, okay.
during this time, you guys had one
Holy
edible,
shit.
and I think I had 4. So it was me, and I was talking with Black Ron Pond. This guy was absolute beauty. He's like
Yeah, he was a beauty.
MMA instructor, like jujitsu, and we got to talking about conspiracies and stuff. And he's like, "Hey man, you know Eddie Bravo?" I was like, "Yeah, I know him from like Joe Rogan." He's like, "Yeah," he's talking about how awesome of a jujitsu guy he is. And I was like, "Oh sweet." He's like, "Yeah, he whipped my ass." So I guess this guy had fought Eddie Bravo in like a not like actual fight, but like in training and stuff. So we got talking
Like
to
sparring,
conspiracies. So Black Ron Pond, if you talk to Eddie Bravo, mention alien theorists, maybe get him on the show. That guy's down the conspiracy rabbit hole. I'd love to hear his take on stuff.
Man, Black Rum Pond was he's
Awesome dude.
He lived up to the title.
Oh, for
Lived
sure,
up to the title.
worthy. Now what else do we do with? It's been the end of the
Let me
night.
tell you something. We got an Uber. I remember being in the Uber and dude, I was green, spinning, man. I hadn't been like that since I was like young, like in my teenage years.
Yeah, you got double spun for sure.
We got back. I don't even know if I said a word. Like
You were-
I
you were
just,
pretty silent all night.
You were pretty
Yeah.
done. You were cooked. You were just.
yeah, dude. I was like,
We got
I was-
back to the Airbnb and we get up there. Did we have trouble getting in? I can't remember if we had trouble getting in.
oh man,
I can't remember.
there was no half Hortons, so we couldn't have had that
No,
much trouble
I think-
getting in.
No, we had no barriers to entry.
So we get in and like Braden just like walks straight in, like takes a 90-degree turn into the bedroom and just crawls into bed full clothed. It's just
Didn't
like
even
and just just down.
I think we put on another episode of The Simpsons and then fell asleep.
I think we did, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. That's it.
great day.
So-
great day
Day 10. I had so much fun.
till about 10
Evening,
p.m.
6. That was a rough one for me. I think we should have paced ourselves earlier in the afternoon.
Well, I was not anticipating crushing, like 5 buckets
Well,
each at a bar
here's
at
the
2 in
thing,
the
it's-
afternoon.
When a good time shows up at your doorstep, you don't
just go.
shut the door.
Yep.
You know what I
Just
mean?
go.
You open it and invite it in. And that bar just turned into a good time. It was one of those magical things that everything kind of lined up. Karaoke came on. Everyone was singing. We were all having I think we were having a hoot.
Yeah.
It
So
was really
fun.
fun. I had a good time.
Okay, quick caveat here. We met some people later in the day when we were drinking, and we forgot their names. So bad.
Yes.
So if that was one of
We're
you,
bad.
Oh.
please message us, and we'll correct it on it in the next show. Because we were talking before we recorded this, like, who was that? Who was that? We're like, oh god damn it! I know we talked to
Yeah,
someone.
and listen,
we've been
that's
drinking.
yeah. Everyone was a beauty that hung out.
Everyone, beauties.
Yeah.
It was a wicked vibes at our table. Like really good time.
Like I have trouble remembering names on a regular basis, and then just add in
yeah.
all the alcohol and we had drank that day. But everybody that
And
we
the
met was
edibles,
super
yeah.
awesome. Like I just remember everybody was just super great and had a great time.
Yeah, it
Nice.
was unbelievable. So, day 3,
Well, I met,
we wake up. Surprisingly, I wake up at like 8:00.
Yeah.
A-okay.
like 3 hours.
I was like, woke up-
of sleep.
3 hours of sleep, and I'm like, okay, I'm up. All right. I feel kind of rough, but not nearly as rough as I should feel because I know how I felt when I went to bed. And I know how much I drank, and I know I haven't had any water in 48 hours. So I was like, this is something's weird here. So Dan's kind of stirring in bed. We get up, throw in some Simpsons. We get showered, get Zell showered. We're fucking out of the place at like 10 a.m.
Mhm.
Unbelievable.
Early start.
Unbelievable. I would have bet my bottom dollar that we would have just slept through the day that day.
I was almost ready. I was like, oh man, we're never gonna make it to Area because it's a long drive to get to Area
Yeah.
51.
So yeah, but no, we got up on time. We hopped in. I think we got an Uber over to the closest Enterprise car rental, and which was over in a hotel. I think it was over in one of the hotels. And we walked in there and we said, "Hey, we need a truck, or we need a car."
We need a rent. She's like, we only.
Oh
have
no, we had
this
that
or-
long discussion as to whether Enterprise picks you up or whether they pick you up just at the airport.
Still up for debate.
Yeah.
Still, we should have
didn't really find
clarified that with the person that was working.
But the girl was like, we got like two options. We got this SUV or we got the minivan. We're like, minivan.
Minivan.
Take the minivan.
The minivan was actually
That was a dope minivan.
It was
Dodge
a
Caravan.
It was a great ride.
217 or that thing was fucking cool.
So it didn't have any
So-
Bluetooth.
we,
Oh yeah,
we
no
hit,
Bluetooth.
we hit the dusty trail right out of Vegas, into the desert. It's about a 2-hour drive, boys.
Mhm.
2.5,
Yeah.
2 hour, 2 and a half hour
2 hour
drive to
and then
Rachel.
we stopped a bunch of times on the way.
Yeah. So it's gloomy as fuck out. It's raining. So we're like, oh, this is a good day to kind of get off the strip and do this. So we drive out. First stop, we stop to get snacks at this convenience store. And all of a sudden, I'm like, oh, all the beer kind of sits. And I'm like, all right, I've got an emergency going on. I got to go to the bathroom. So I go in there, and I'm already super uncomfortable because I have to drop a bomb in like a side of the road in the middle of fucking nowhere bathroom.
That was
So
a nice. I thought that place was nice.
I'm still rattled.
Or gas
dude.
station.
The bathroom was still not up to par. Like it was still grungy.
For middle of the desert, it was pretty good.
Yes,
Yeah,
it
that's
was
pretty
better
nice.
than it could have been, but I still wasn't pleased. I will never be pleased having to poop on the side of the highway at any rest stop ever.
You gotta do what
So-
you gotta do.
So I sit down and I'm like, right away, I'm like, oh man, this is uncomfortable. And I can hear like the foot, like some little pitter patters in the stall beside me because there's someone in there. And then this guy just is like, oh, ah, ooh. So now I'm super fucking uncomfortable because this guy is fucking dying, moaning every time he farts. And I'm like, Jesus. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, trying to be stealth. And you can hear like when someone pulls the toilet paper, right? That like, and he rips the toilet paper. And then you can hear like, And I'm like, Jesus, man. I was like, a normal person, I would say poops once a day. And if that's the shit you go through every day to poop, like, go to the doctor, man. Go to the doctor.
Something's wrong.
So I get out of there. Get out of there right away. I just wrap up. I was like, I don't even know how good of a job I did. I just had to get out of there. I couldn't stay in there any longer. So I get out. And I'm like, boys, did you guys hear that guy? Both of you guys are like, yeah. I'm kind of putting around because I want to see. And this dude comes out, and I don't lie, with the biggest gut I've ever seen. And he walks. He looks like, imagine a huge fat guy sitting in a chair and using his legs to move himself forward, but now remove the chair. That's how he looked. I was like, oh man, like that's brutal. But back on the dusty trail again with some cheese cubes and
Oh yeah, we
fucking-
brought the nice little like adult Lunchables. Like they were like, yeah, I thought they were kind of nice. I thought those were okay. I had a little one that had like salami and cheese cubes and some like trail mix and stuff. I thought it was pretty good.
so
It's
we
good hangover.
another hour down the road, we take the left, and there it is, the extraterrestrial highway sign. What was your first thoughts, boys?
Pretty
Surreal,
dope.
man. It's like a fucking dream come true.
Awesome.
Go check that out.
I've always wanted to drive that highway, just to be on it, take a picture in front of that sign. Always something I wanted to do. So it was a dream come true. It was surreal. It was fucking freezing cold.
Man, it was cold.
Windy as
Oh
shit,
yeah. Oh yeah.
and raining. But man, I was happier than a clam. Like I was so happy to be out there. So we stopped there, slapped an ATT. We forgot the fucking stickers because
Yeah, we did.
This is what we do.
You know us. So I licked a couple business cards, slapped them on there, and away we went. We stopped at the caution aircraft above.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Low flying aircraft.
aircraft.
Yeah. stopped at that
we did
sign.
our recon at the Area 51 Alien Research Center. That was awesome. That was
Oh yeah, I stashed. If you're ever going there, if you're going there in the future, I've stashed business cards all over the place in Vegas and in strategic spots, in alien hands, in business card holders, inconspicuous all over the place. So if you ever see them, take a picture. Interesting
or take
stuff.
one.
Or take one. Yeah. They're free.
It's like it's like
don't
an Easter
don't
egg
make
hunt.
them pay,
Yeah.
don't make them pay for you. Don't make
Yeah.
them pay. Don't. What am I trying to say?
Don't pay for them.
Don't pay for them. Don't let
Just take
them
'em.
make you pay for them. Just take
There you
them.
go.
You have my permission. That's what I'm trying to say. So, driving to Rachel. This is where fucking
Gets eerie, man.
gets eerie as shit. I don't know what I thought in my mind because I'd never seen a picture of Rachel, but I knew it wasn't going to be much. I knew it wasn't going to be a big town, but it
not a
shattered
town.
my expectations
I
because it
don't
was far
know-
less.
I don't know how you can call it a town because it's literally just the little alien, and then it looks to
And, like,
be about
10
4
trailers.
Like, not even that. I thought it was like 6 trailers. Like there's nothing. I don't know how you call that a town. There's no gas station. There's no nothing because it's
There's
like that gas
fucking-
station we stopped at. Like we saw a sign when we were heading towards Rachel, and it was like that was the last gas station for 150 miles.
Yeah.
So
So that was pretty nuts.
pull into the alien. It's fucking miserable out. It's eerie. It's cold. It's cloudy. It's fucking spooky out. It's one of those spooky like afternoons. So we go in right away. There's it's exactly what you'd expect from a place called the Alien in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Yeah. Old
Uh,
Area 51 pictures and aircraft pictures and pictures of aliens and
Well,
Yeah.
they had all those photos of like people who had visited, or I don't know if they were signing them to the owners of the alien because they had I think they had pictures of like Bob Lazar on there.
George Knapp.
Great
they had a bunch of
Carlwood.
guys.
Linda Moulton Howe was up there
Yeah.
too. So they had a lot of signed memorabilia and stuff. And
You'll
and in
find
there,
some
yeah.
hidden alien theorists theorizing cards on their walls. So we sit down there for a bit. We're looking at souvenirs. The owner, I can't remember her name now. She bought it with her husband Pat, who'd since passed away, and she runs it with her daughter. Her daughter waited on us. Really nice girl. And we're like, you know what? A diner like this, it's probably got some good pie.
Oh,
So we're
God.
looking at the pie menu, and they got apple, blueberry, cherry, and alien berry. So I go, well, hey, what's the alien berry? And she makes a fucking face like, "Ugh, ugh." And I go, ooh, you made a face. And she goes, well, I wouldn't get it. And I said, well, what's in it? And she goes, I don't know, raisins.
Well, she starts to list stuff off, and she's like,
with
"Well,
raisins.
there's raisins," and that was automatic. That was like instant no.
Nope.
Yep, no. So we all got the apple pie.
I got cherry
How
pie.
would you boys? Oh, how would you rate your pie, Dan? Your apple pie?
On like
A scale of 10.
0 to 10 would be like it would be disappointed. Like that's
It's like a
it was
cold-
ice cold. It was ice cold, and I like the crust was not. I
was a
don't know
frozen
where
pie.
even to put it. Store bought pie is not even like maybe frozen pie, but I've had better.
It was frozen pie
pies than
for
that.
sure.
So how was your cherry pie? Was the cherry pie any better?
Like I'm pretty easy to please when it comes to cherry filling. So the cherry filling was okay, but the pie itself was shit. Like just crumbly shit pie.
Yeah,
I give it like I give it like a 3 out of 10.
Yeah, that's a 3 out of 10 is pretty fair.
Don't
But
go to
when
Rachel
you're-
for the pie.
yeah, it's go there for Area 51. Don't go for the pie. So, we're getting ready to go out, check out the back gate. I keep saying the black gate and thinking it's
Black Gate of
fucking
Mordor. I
So it
always
makes
think
it
of.
sound way cooler.
The back gate. And the lady is, she draws on a map for us. We pay 33 cents for this map. She draws out outlines like what to do. You drive, the road's going to change. When you get up to it, turn your vehicle around. They don't like when you're parked facing. Back up a little bit, get out, take your pictures, and then leave. And now she gets a little weird. She goes, I'm not kidding. get out of the vehicle, take your pictures, don't touch anything, and leave. And we're like, yo, okay. And she's like, don't be stupid.
Don't do anything stupid. Don't
do anything stupid.
Don't be stupid.
We've said that so many
So then-
times.
So many times.
I mean,
man.
I
It was
guess
like-
I guess we look like the kind of people who would be. I don't know.
Well, man, honestly,
But yeah.
because we'd been in and out of the rain, and then like I'd been sitting under the heat vent, I had like the like my hair was all crazy. And then she goes, but she keeps like being like, I'm serious, guys. Don't be stupid. Don't be like, we're all on high alert here. Like, don't be stupid. So Zell, I think you're the said where you're like, well, what's going on?
Yeah, it's like, what?
Wait, can you-
Why?
And
What's
she-
going on here?
And she's like, well, I can't tell you. And she kind of goes into another room, and we're kind of all like, what the fuck? And I was like, I remember Sam being like, she's kind of sketching me out. So then she comes back and she goes, again, she's like, remember, just don't be stupid. Don't, like, really hammering us the point, like, don't be stupid. So Ron's like, what happened? Like, what's going on? Everyone's on high alert. And she does the look around.
She does a look.
Yeah. She does the look around, and then she goes, there was another party of 3. They were sitting at the bar. They were doing the same thing. They were gearing up to go. And she goes, someone was killed earlier this week. And we're like, what? She goes, someone was killed at the gate. Some idiot ran across.
a different. She said, what did she call it?
Is that the
Mercury Gate.
Mercury Gate.
Mercury.
Yeah.
So
Mercury Gate.
different thing, but yeah, someone, I guess, was an idiot,
Yeah.
did something they shouldn't have, and they had to shoot to kill. And
Yeah, we looked it up. I looked up the article. It was in like a Las Vegas newspaper, or at least the article online.
legit.
And somebody had died. They described him as an aggressive man. I guess he had plowed through one of the checkpoints, and he came out of his car. They got him to exit his vehicle, and he had something cylindrical in his hand, and it could have been a bomb or something. But those guards on there do not fuck around, so they were like shoot to kill and put that dude down. So
All right.
yeah.
So
Crazy.
I want to note something about the alien before we go. We said there's pictures all over the wall. Now there's pictures of the people that work there. There's the picture of the old lady that owned it with her husband, their daughter, and their brother-in-law. There's pictures of them. Various pictures that all shows them working at the alien. So we heed this old lady's advice. We're like, okay, like, yeah, well, cool. So our plan is, because Chris, Jess, and Cole are coming out, but they're like an hour behind us, we're going to go out to the back gate. We're going to check it out. We're going to take our pictures. We're not going to fuck around. We're going to leave, and we're going to come back for lunch. So we head out back the way we came. We turn on the dirt road. Now, man,
so
I
cool.
got anxiety right as we turned on that road. I was like, it was scary.
You're just on that road and you start driving. And
I was
feel it.
driving. I was just hoping it was the right road. I was just driving down it. You could really see anything. You're just driving down the road, and it's kind of raining, kind of gloomy, and you're just like, I was like, oh man, I hope this is the right road, because you have to drive a good ways on that road. And I was like, we probably wouldn't even know we're on the wrong road until we get way far down there.
So we're maybe 10 minutes down this road, and I turn around and I see that the van with the other 3 guys that were at the alien is following us. So they're doing the same thing. They're going to the
that
alien.
kind of confirmed. I was like, oh, okay, we got to be on the right road, or somebody else is following us.
So periodically I'd check behind, I'd see the van, they're, behind us a little ways, and we're just driving, and we're all tense. Like, oh, is it, what's it going to look like? Is this it? You kind of like, it's really flat. Like you can fucking see far, but just the way the desert is, just like a little raise will like eliminate your view. So like you'd come out, you'd crest a tiny little hill, and you'd be able to see way further out, and you're like, is that it? Are we coming up to it? And then we fucking see it in the distance.
Dun, 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 dun.
Dun, 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 dun.
We're like, oh shit, there's the gate. There it is.
Yeah.
Has to be.
Well, that's got to be it, right? That's got to be it.
Yeah. It's there you go. And so we're told to like pull a U-turn. So Dan first off, like U-turns
Too early.
so far away. Way
Well,
too early.
I thought we were going to walk that way, because she didn't specify how far. She's like, okay, she gave a specific instruction. She was like, go, and like when you see the gate, pull a U-turn and like back up to it or whatever. It's like, make sure you're thinking. So she didn't say how far we should be. So, but yeah, I pulled off and I was like, I think we were just talking about how, I was like, should we go closer? Should we do that? And so while we were doing that, the van that was following us pulls ahead. So they go around us and they keep going. So we're like, oh, okay. Yeah. So we're like, we'll just follow on them. So we just keep going.
So we are approaching the gate. We go to turn off again, but then we see that the other van pulls up right to the gate. It looks like they're going to turn around, but then they park perpendicular to the gate, like blocking the road. So we go up beside them and turn around, park the vehicle. We get out. We kind of get out. It's super creepy. I was almost too nervous to really enjoy the moment. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, kind of.
You know what I mean? Like, I was like, when I play back in my head, I'd like to be like, I was like all cool, like, yeah, really like, but I was like, read the signs. Oh, is someone watching us?
Always on the lookout.
Are we doing something wrong? Like, there's a fucking, they can kill you. And you hear all the stories of like, people getting harassed at gunpoint by the camo dudes, the security that no one really knows if they're private or what company they work for.
You just know that they drive white trucks. Like, that's all you know.
They drive white trucks, Jeep Grand Cherokees, Chevys, Ford F-350s. And, there's videos you can find of people being held at gunpoint and questioned, and, they can give you a really hard time. So in the back of my mind, I'm like, okay, fuck, we're doing this fucking podcast. We're Canadians. I don't have my fucking passport on me. And, I'm worried about all these things. So super eerie, though. Like, you see the two gates. There's cameras that are definitely watching you. The no drone zone sign. Like, it's very eerie. It's a very cool experience to do.
Yeah, it just it feels weird. Like, you get there and you're just like, you just hear so many stories about the place. And you're like, oh, I'm at the gate.
Yeah, you're like, it's so weird because it's like, it's a gate, and I guess it's it's a gate, but it's not manned all the time, I guess is what it is. Like, it's only for, I guess, large deliveries or stuff they bring in through the back gate, because it's not the main gate, but it has a gatehouse with a little like an arm blocking off the access to the road, and like a fence a little ways in each distance off the road. But there's all kinds, like, you see cameras, and there's a couple more like smaller buildings behind the guardhouse, and there's really just a bunch of signs like, no photos, no filming of the area, punishable by blah 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 blah, no drone zone. And but those guys that pulled up on there, like, we were sitting there taking our photos and snapping a couple selfies real quick and taking pictures of the gate, and these guys were pulled up right next to it, and I couldn't really see what the one guy was doing, but it looked like he put his hand, like he had his hand pretty much right in front of one of the signs and was like going to touch it. And I think he did touch it.
Well, I look back at the pictures. I took a picture of where their van was. They're pretty far from the gate, but they were parked like,
one guy gotten out.
We parked like, because we parked on the side and like with our back facing the gate, but they parked right across the road, like perpendicular to the road, like parallel with the gate. So like they're technically blocking the road, right? Which I guess if you're a security team, like, that looks like a little, I don't know. No.
Yeah, 100%. That's something you would be like.
Not as innocent as just like pulling up on the side of the road, getting out, taking the pictures. They're like right in front of the gate. So they leave first.
Yeah, they start pulling out. We jump in the van. We start pulling out. Woo! We did it, boys. Area 51. Like,
live video of it.
Cool, man. And then I think I spotted it first. As the van passed, there's just this fucking white truck on this, like, parked on the side of the road as if it had just come in on an intersection, but there's no intersection. It's just there. And I'm like, where'd that white truck come from?
Yeah, it was fucking crazy.
And I said there's these two funky looking kind of, I don't know what you call them. They're not hills. They're just like hillocks. I don't know. They're just like little bumps on the side of the road. And it's like where you would see like cops sit on really long flat roads. Like, you'd see, this is where cops would sit for speed traps. And we didn't see the trucks driving up, but there were like two hills, and they were kind of sitting at angles where I assume they could be sitting, like a truck could be sitting behind one and you wouldn't see it driving past. And so like when those guys drove past when they drove past that hill, that truck came flying out from behind one of them, pulled up behind them, and just took off after them.
Yeah, like fucking out of nowhere. Like, I'm filming I'm like doing the Instagram video. So I'm filming the back and we're like, oh, so Area 51, awesome. Then Braden's like, is that a white truck? And I like turn the camera. But you can't really see it on the camera that well, but we're all like, you can definitely see this fucking truck just peel out of nowhere and just beeline after these guys. They were cooking on the road. Dirt road going, they must have been going like 70, 80 miles an hour.
It had rained, so the road was sketchy to drive on. Like Dan was going far slower than they were, and we were like getting pulled into divots and like all over the place. And you could see when we'd come up to the little bends that someone was like almost losing control in the road. Like they were ripping down that road. It was like I can't even imagine how fast they were driving. But we'd come up to a crest and they'd be light years ahead of us. Like they were fucking humming.
So we're thinking this time, Dan's like, oh yeah, I don't think they can do anything. They can't really pull you over because whatever. But like we're anticipating one coming behind us too. So we're like, oh, where's the other white trucks? What's going to go on here?
I remember as we crested that like last kind of hill, you could see the van way, way, way up in the distance, and the white truck was fucking gone.
Disappeared.
Yeah, I thought another white truck was going to come up behind us, but nothing. Like no, nothing.
No, we didn't block the road. We didn't fuck around.
Yeah, we didn't do that. And I guess that's something that people do when they go up to the gate, because I saw somebody was like, it's called like knock and go or something like that. And I guess that's a kind of thing people do, is like they go up to the gate and touch the gate and like see how fast they can drive off, because the trucks like have to chase you. So you kind of take off and
right.
So I think that's something that people do. I think it's just something people do.
We didn't do that.
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
Fuck that, buddy. We were in a 2-wheel drive Dodge van on a muddy road that we rented. We would have died.
Yeah, I mean, it was cool. Like seeing the white trucks is like something. That's as close to like surreal. I've been to like seeing something out of legend. You're just like, these white trucks that you see all the time. And I watched a couple documentaries before we went out there, and they had the white trucks, and it's like, you can see them in the distance, and they're following us and stuff like that. And sure enough, there they were.
So cool.
So we head back to the Alien, and this is where fucking shit gets even weirder. So we go inside, and as soon as we go inside, the old lady's there, and she's like, oh, good, you're back. And then her and her daughter just leave.
Yep, they're
and
gone.
Then this guy comes up, and right away, I remember saying to you and Dan, I was like, is it just me, or does this guy seem like he's so fucking out of place?
Yeah.
He didn't have the same, he just didn't have the same demeanor as everybody else. He was a little bit standoffish.
He looked like a mercenary. When you looked at him, he kind of had like the haircut, like, short sides, a kind of long top. He just kind of
could have had prior military experience or something like that. Sure. Yeah.
That's what he looked like to me right away. I was like, I thought from like Jurassic Park 3, I was like, oh, the mercenaries, they take to the island, they get eaten. I was like, this is one of those guys. That's what he looked like.
This is one of those guys. This guy has hunted dinosaurs before. Guy.
And then this guy, he was so cryptic, because Zell would be like, oh man, I bet you see a lot of weird things here.
No, first he asked, he's like, oh, I heard she said you got back. Where'd you go? And we're like, oh, we just like went to the back gate, took a picture. And he's like, okay, or something like that. And we're like, oh shit.
Yeah, super weird. Okay.
And then he took our order. So we ordered like these shitty burgers because we're pretty hungry. And then the cook in the back was like another guy who seemed out of place.
He was, just another big guy, like
big, like middle-aged dude. It was just like a weird vibe. And then we sat there for a bit. Like I was doing, because I had Wi-Fi, so I was uploading the Instagram story. We're talking about it. And then we go to pay. And I was asked this guy, I was like, hey man, like this place is awesome. Like what have you seen? He's like, oh, we see stuff out here all the time. And I was like, fucking kind of a weird answer, I guess.
That's probably the standard answer.
No, because I asked the girl before, he just said it in a weird way. Because I asked the first time I asked the girl because I bought like an Area 51 handbook. Right. And I asked, the girl, like, what do you guys see? He was like, oh, we see stuff all the time. Like, it's really cool. And she's like, She was like excited about it, kind of, like because like we're the customers, like we're the tourists. That's like how they make their living, probably. But this guy was just like, you could tell he's just like, he's just checking us out, like make sure. You could tell we were making sure we were up to no good, right? Make sure we're like not trying to spill secrets or anything.
So here's another weird thing. So Chris, Nicole, and Jess show up, and then we're kind of telling them like, oh, you know, this and that. And I say, hey, if you go get one of their maps, you know, they drew diagram and stuff on the map for us and told us how to do it. So they go, oh, okay, cool. So Chris goes up, and it's this guy at the counter. And he goes, oh, can we get one of the maps? And he goes, we don't sell maps here. And he goes, oh, you know, like the map of just like where to go to the back gate. And he goes, we don't sell those.
Meanwhile,
so Chris comes back.
Meanwhile, I just bought one.
Didn't you say it was like 33 cents?
Yeah. And so I walk up to Chris and I'm like, I pointed out to Chris, it's right on the front counter. I'm like, that's kind of weird because they're right there. Like
that lady charged you 33 cents and you didn't have to pay it.
Well, I was like, they're right there. Like they sell them. They're right there. And the guy, Chris, is like, oh, okay, that's
weird.
Kind of weird. But like now it's like, how if that guy fucking works there, how the fuck does he not know that they have maps that they show people?
I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he's new.
All right, Dan.
First day.
All right, Dan.
Okay,
you think
it would
that.
have to be his first day because that motherfucker wasn't in any pictures.
He wasn't.
That guy wasn't on any pictures on the wall. None of the pictures.
But we didn't mention that when we got back to there was a white truck.
That's right.
Okay, see, by your logic, it should have been like we shouldn't have eaten there because they were going to drug our food and then drag us back to the base and then torture us.
Yeah, but we didn't really realize it at the time. We thought it was weird, but it wasn't until like me and Brandon on the way home were like, doesn't that seem like super weird that this all happened? That the lady who owns this place and her daughter both leave, and then this random mercenary dude is there, and there is a white truck outside.
And he's like, and he's so unhelpful.
He doesn't know fucking.
But
anything.
they were working. But we found out that white truck belonged to somebody else though.
No,
wasn't that the broken axle one?
That was the Ford F-350 that we saw on the way back. Remember the one that had the mirror folded in?
Yeah,
that was the one that broke
different.
down.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
So the white truck at the Alien, we don't know who it belonged to.
It's just somebody's white truck. That guy's white truck.
Whoever that guy was, it was weird. It was an
super
eerie feeling. It's
weird.
like, you know what? If there is like the security team's there, for sure they're listening to what conversations that go on in that place. You know, I don't doubt it for a second.
100%. That'd be the best intel. If people are going to come fuck around, they're going to come talk about it in there. Now, here's the weird thing. We talked to Chris, Nicole, and Jess about like what to do and when they're going, right? In the Alien. They go head down the road, and as they even come up to the gate, they can't even get near as close as we are because two white vans come out and block the road.
Like, fuck no, you're not coming in here.
You're not coming any closer kind of thing.
It's
super fucking weird.
Cool. Now that's it. That's Area 51. That was fucking cool.
I highly recommend
unreal.
it.
Super cool. Just the fact of being there and being like, this is one of the, you know, it's where the conspiracies begin.
Like so many.
It was. So we drive back. We have the fucking darkest drive I've ever been.
Oh my god!
Holy
dark and
shit!
dreary. It was so dark that we missed.
It was raining so much. It rained all day, like until we got back to regular Vegas, and it was raining so hard, like you couldn't see like 200 feet in front of you. It was nuts.
It was a hard drive.
Well, because we're on the way back, we're going to stop at. Well, it used to be the black mailbox, but now there's no mailbox, and this is called Mailbox Road, and that's how you get to the front gate. So we're going to stop and like take a picture by the sign, but it was so dark, we couldn't really tell what it was, and we missed the mile markers. By the time we realized where we were, like 10 miles too late. We're like, oh fuck it, whatever.
Yeah,
and it was fucking piss and rain like you wouldn't fucking believe. So then, get back to Vegas, get back to our place, and we're like, all right. Let's fire it up.
This is third American chain fast food. All we ate in this fucking trip was burgers.
Burgers.
Like, where are we going, boys?
In-N-Out.
In-N-Out Burger. God damn. That place was great.
Yeah, the burger, excellent, man. Price point, woo.
Oh, so cheap.
Fries were a little little cardboardy, but the burger, wow. Burger was spectacular.
Smashed an In-N-Out burger. Waited for
Back to the place.
our friends to show up, and this is where the 3 gram joint, the party joint, comes in.
We had to do it. It was sitting there.
Been waiting
last day.
all weekend for this fucking party joint. I was like, we need at least, I was hoping for like 8 people, but we had 6.
Yeah.
And most people are not huge weed smokers, so this thing goes around 3-4 times. Braden drops out, Dan drops out, Jess drops out, Nicole drops out. Just me and Chris, and this thing's like not even half done, and I'm like, we got to finish this, buddy. We got to do it. So we puffed this thing for another 20 minutes. We got most of it done, then we're like, we had to tap out. We couldn't finish it. Then I'm just sitting there for 2 hours. I couldn't say a word.
So we head over to Stratosphere, and we're just crushing. We're just crushing tall boys. We went up to the lookout. It was freezing cold. Zell and I went on some crazy spin death coaster that hung us out over the building.
That was
You guys were like, oh, you gotta go, Dan. Like, we all gotta go. I was like, no.
Dan just stonewalled
it. Was freezing cold. It's like
hard.
How tall is that thing? Way up there.
It's like
we stepped
1,300
outside.
feet, so like,
yeah, I was like, no, it's freezing cold, and I don't know why you would want to go up there and that spinny thing and whatever.
I love rides. I had to do it.
Sure enough, I'm glad I made that decision, because when we got up there, like the wind was so strong, like you could lean on it. It was like when you get to the top and like they have the observation deck outside, you got out there and it was like, whoo.
The people were the guys like running the ride were a little sketched out.
It was so
it was
so windy, and this thing's like, obviously it's super like secure and it's like bolted to the building, and it's like it could take like so much force, but the wind was so strong. I could swear when we were sitting in it, I could feel like the wind resistance like on the arm, like
yeah.
And I'm like, oh fuck. He's like, how fast do you want to go? I was like, whatever gets us off this thing the quickest. He's like, too
Yes,
bad.
Steve, how fast do you want to
Whatever it
go?
is, it's always 3 minutes. We're like, oh sweet. So this thing it hangs you over the edge, and it doesn't go fast, but the scary part is it hangs you over the edge, and then you come back onto the platform, and then back over the edge again repeatedly, and you just look straight down.
Like you're not that strapped in, really.
It's just a lap bar, right?
Yeah.
Lap bar. You couldn't get out if you tried, really, but it's still, man, it was fucking freaky, and it was so cold. Oh my god. Who thought Vegas could be so
I thought you guys
cold?
were going to come off of there just like either dead or like in full on hypothermia.
Yeah.
Oh, it was fucking
They were going to
cold,
like
dude.
bring you out and you guys are going to be like stuck in the position, like the sitting position. You're just going to be frozen solid. Like I thought that's what was going to happen.
So then we went, and it's getting late in the evening already. We're crushing beers. We're gambling. People are doing craps. Dan's killing blackjack. Doubled up his money.
Yeah, I won $90 on a side bet. Pretty sick. I was pretty excited.
And then we're just getting blitzed, and it's getting late in the evening. It's at the 2:00 mark, 2:30 mark. So a choice has to be made. So we get together and we say, well, we're at that point in the evening where we either keep partying, keep drinking, and just don't
Our
don't
flight's
sleep
at,
and go to our
at
flights.
9 a.m.
Yeah. Or, we shut her down now and go back and get a sleep before we have to catch a flight. And as we said before, when a good time comes to knock and you don't close the door. So, fuck it. All night.
Go, go, go.
So, we walked everywhere. We walked over to Circus. We were just crushing tall boys again. We were gambling over at Circus. And then it's like 5:30 in the morning, and we're all like, oh, no.
What have we done?
We go, what was that place called? The Pepper Mill? We go to this all-day, all-night food place. Get some food. That really helped. That place was awesome. Pepper Mill.
Delicious. Is that what it was called? I don't remember.
I don't remember either. It's called the Pepper Mill. I think it was the Pepper Mill. But now we're fucked. It's like 6 in the morning. We're like, okay, well, let's go back to the place, I guess. So we go back to the Airbnb. We're like, what do we do? We're like, okay, well, let's have a 45-minute fucking nap. So we all have a 45-minute nap, wake up. Oh, man, just rough.
Champion Dan, though, had to stop drinking at early because we still had the rental van. We had to drive
Yeah, I
back
still
to
had
the
to drive
airport.
the rental back.
Oh shit, I forgot about that.
So yeah, I was like, I stopped drinking at like, I think, what was it? Oh yeah, when we got to Circus. Oh, before we went to Circus, we went and bought like the cheapest. We went to that Brayden and I went to that gas station to buy Tall Boys.
The black ice or whatever it was, the
Oh,
shittiest beer.
like
my
Bud
God.
Ice. Oh my
Yeah.
god, it was gross.
It was
I drank like maybe like 1/3 of the can. I was like, if I drink the rest of this, I won't be able to drive.
done. Yeah.
I drank like 3/4 and I was like, I'm gonna fucking die if I drink another sip of this. It was so bad. Yeah, that was a rough flight home for me.
The morning was rough at the airport for sure. The whole
The
day,
next,
you know,
the
it
following week,
was 48-hour recovery for me.
it like I went home and I slept for like 12 hours, and then the next day, like I got home from work, and then I went to bed at like 6, slept through the night, like woke up, and the next day did the same before I was even feeling like back to myself.
I had to go back to work on Monday morning, carpentry. I was just like trimming a house, like putting doors in and shit. I made so many mistakes. I made like no money. I like put a door in, I put it in backwards, or like, oh, I was like, fuck, it's so stupid. Like it was swinging the wrong way, and I was like, oh fuck, I spent all day like put like 3 doors in. It was horrible.
It's like, why does it look like MC Escher put this shit together?
Wasn't my best work. Good trip though. All in all, just a great time.
Oh, good trip, man. I love going on podcast trips. They're so fun.
Yeah, that was a great time. It was a blast.
And I know there was
It's so
a lot
much fun.
of more people that lived in Vegas, but Vegas locals don't really go to the Strip because we found out that it's really expensive. So rightfully so, we didn't meet a lot of the people that we wanted to. So next time we're doing a trip, we're going to see the logistics of how we can do a real live show, like rent a bar or something, and
Yeah.
I don't know.
Set it up, whatever, pay a fee for a venue or something and do a live show would be, I think it'd be fun.
Yeah, ticketed show would be fun. And we could all
Logistically, I have the layout in my head of how we do it. It's just getting the venue and
like a panel at the front,
people.
us at the front, speakers.
I'm still thinking, we'll put one more last dish effort to get that panel at AlienCon.
Yeah.
And then if we don't get it, maybe we should look at going to AlienCon and like the Saturday night doing a live bar show.
They don't give us a panel. We'll get our own panel with blackjack and hookers.
Yeah. And karaoke.
We'll
And karaoke.
just make our own con.
Yeah. Woo. Oh, that'd be cool.
What do we call it?
Alienoki.
Alienoki.
Admission is
ATT
you have to sing one song to get in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, that'd be a good time. Anyways, we've been going an hour and a half. This is a long one.
Super deluxe issue.
We won't read any reviews or anything. We'll keep this one
Save it for
just the review.
Case file 93.
We're going to call it a case file?
No, we're going to save the reviews for case file 93.
Oh,
which
yes.
will be the
Oh,
next.
okay.
So,
This is it.
back to regular business as usual for the next one. If you like what we're doing, go on our Patreon. We've got almost another conspiracy podcast on there now. We had some early complaints when we first did the Patreon that, maybe it wasn't worthwhile, but I think we've turned that ship around. We have so much content on there now, and we've got tons coming out. So go check us out on Patreon.
Oh, yeah.
Support the show if you like it. Helps us out.
Yep. Gets you access to our Discord servers. Lots of people in there posting all kinds of stuff. Somebody posted yesterday strange sounds out of Austin, Texas. That was kind of cool. I spent most of the day trying to figure out what it was.
Yeah,
And then I saw you were like, is it crickets?
Maybe. I don't know. I still haven't figured it out. I'm still kind of I've watched that video probably like 10 times trying to figure out what exactly it is. So Scott on our Discord server, I'm still trying to figure it out.
All right.
So anyways, as we always say at the end of these things, keep those eyes on the skies.
brace yourself for something fuel nominal. Unleaded 88 is the clear fuel choice. It's cheaper, cleaner, and greener. And it's grown by Iowa corn farmers. Now that's totally worth the hype. So pump it up with Unleaded 88.
That's not just the sound of that first sip of Morning Joe. It's the sound of someone shopping for a car on Carvana from the comfort of home.
That's a good blend.
It's time to take it easy, like answering some easy questions to get pre-qualified for a car in minutes.
Talk about starting the morning right.
Just like customizing your terms so your car fits your budget. Visit Carvana.com or download the app to experience car shopping the way it should be. Convenient, comfortable.